na lahat. Kasi yun ang magiging basis ninyo. So, chapter 1 comprises of, okay, of course, introduction. After introduction will be your SOP or your statement of the problem. And then after statement of the problem, it will be assumption. Assumption kung descriptive lang kayo ha. But hypothesis if you are with inferential statistics or inferential question. After assumption, you have your scope and delimitation. After the scope and delimitation, significance of the study. And we have definition of terms. Define. And of course, notes. So kung titingnan nyo lahat ito madali. Ano po, ang pinakamahirap talaga ay paghanap ng problem. Paggawa ng statement, and of course, yung paggawa kung maayos yung tool. Pag nalampasan nyo na yung tatlong yun, yung content ng chapter 1 ay madali na lang po. Okay? So, usually yung behavior ko as a researcher, I usually put the introduction last. Kasi maraming nangyayari sa introduction eh. May mga content yung introduction na dapat nandun siya. So, sometimes, as a researcher, may namimiss tayo, kaya papaulit na naman. Kaya usually, yung introduction ko, hinuhuli ko siya. Kaya may mga nagpa-check sa akin ng introduction, hindi ko talaga siya chinechekan kasi gusto ko, kinocomplete ko na muna yung content bago ako mag-introduction. So, baliktad naman yung nakasanayan ko. Kasi sometimes, pag binabasa ko yung introduction ng mga advice ko, may mga kulang, especially kapag pumasok na sila sa chapter 2. Yung chapter 2 kasi, you're going to collect all the data, okay, from other sources. You have your related lit and you have your related study. And sometimes, kapag nagko-collect kayo nun or nagbabasa, or nagre-research kayo ng mga topic nila, marami kayong papasok pang ideas na pwede nyong ipasok sa introduction. That's why I don't really mind checking introduction pa on the first phase of our chapter 1. Though yung ibang advisor, nag-check na silang introduction, but that's my cue or that's my point kung bakit late ako mag-check ng introduction. Kasi nga, of the chapter 2, which is yung magre-research kayo ng related lit and related study, pag nagbasa kayo nun, mas mabubuo yung konsepto nyo kasi syempre iba't ibang study na related sa study ninyo, makikita nyo yung concept nila. Okay? So that's why I usually skip and put, not really on the last, okay? Okay, nearly last yung introduction. So you are done with your statement of the problem. Meron na tayong statement of the problem. So now we will come to hypothesis and assumption. So ano ba yung pagkakaiba ng hypothesis and assumption? So balik tayo dito. Okay, so this one. So ito yung example na pinagkuha ko. So you have your statement. Ito yung statement of the problem niya. So makikita nyo. So yan lang. Ang una niyang tanong is about profiling. Then 2 and 3 is about the title variables, independent variables. And yan. Okay, and then after yung output niya, nakalagay niya assumption. Bakit kaya assumption ang nakalagay sa kanya? So kung titingnan nyo, okay, so assumption has something to do with the statement of the problem. Okay? Assumption if So, assumption, if the statement of the problem has no inferential question or walang stat. Ano nga ma'am yung inferential question or inferential stat? Dalawa yun, di ba? Is there a significant relationship or is there a significant difference? So, yung pinakita kong statement of the problem na example is wala siyang tanong na inferential stat, which is there a significant relationship or is there a significant difference? Pag walang ganon ang SOP ninyo, ang gagawin nyo ay assumption. Okay? So, alam nyo na yan sa high school pa lang, parang assumption. So, your guess kung ano ang mangyayari sa study nyo. Ano kaya magiging result? Ano kaya magiging sagot ng statement of the problem ko? So, you call that one as the assumption of the problem. Kung mapapansin nyo, di ba, yung unang tanong sa SOP niya is the profile of the respondents. Ang mga sagot na ilalagay nyo dito sa assumption ay yung general guess. Hindi nyo po sasagutin yun ha. General guess lang. Kasi, pag sinagot nyo yun, magiging bias. So, katulad nito, this is correct. Ang nilagay niya, di ba? What is the profile of the respondents in terms of age, sex, level of highest level of educational attainment, ano ba man nakalagay niya doon? And so on and so forth. Basta profiling. So, ang nilagay niya dito, the profile of the respondents varies. Huwag itong varied ha, kasi nasa proposal pa lang kayo. Nagiging past tense na yung sentence kapag nakompleto na natin yung chapters 1 to 5. So, all your discussion will be in futuristic or future tense. Okay? So, the profile of the respondents varies. Anong ibig sabihin niya? Sabi niya, magkakaiba ang profile ng respondents ko, hindi pare-pareho. So, yun yung pinaka-safe na discussion or statement na pwede niyong ilagay sa assumption. So, yung pangalawa niya, the respondents incorporated to the patient care through Florence Nightingale Environmental Theory. Yung number 3 niya, there are barriers. Hindi niya sasabihin na kung ano yung iba't ibang barriers. Sasabihin lang niya, there are barriers that the respondents will experience upon implementing the Florence Nightingale Theory. Ganun lang ang gagawin nyo. Sunod, the perception of the respondents and so on and so forth. Tas dito, there are strategies that can be proposed in application or for proposed to enhance the application of Nightingale Theory. So this is the assumption. So balikan natin yung statement of the problem. Huwag natin itong tingnan. Okay. So gawa natin 'to ng assumption. So ito yung profile niya. So halimbawa yung 4 lang na 'yan. Okay? So SOP, dahil wala siyang inferential question or inferential stat, ang gagawin ay assumption. So para dito sa number 1, hindi mo kailangang ibanggit ang age, gender, years of working and educational attainment. General lang ang sagot mo as a researcher to avoid bias. So you will write here, assumption tayo ha. So gawa muna kayo ng intro. The following are the assumption of the study. Yung intro dito, konti lang. And then number 1 mo, the profile of the respondents varies. Number 2. Ito yung number 2 niya. How do respondents incorporate in the patient care of Florence Nightingale along? Okay, so pwede nating there are ways the respondents. Tama din naman yung ginawa niya kanina. Incorporate the Florence Nightingale Jury in patient care. So, sinabi mo na may mga paraan kung paano yung respondents mag-incorporate ng patient care. Pero hindi mo sinabi or minention pa itong mga to. Okay? Tapos number 3 naman. Okay, so number 3. Ano nakalagay niya? What are the barriers experienced by the respondents in implementing the theory along with ito naman number 3. So, lalagay mo lang dyan, there are barriers, parang isa-sentence mo lang, barriers experienced by the respondents in implementing the theory or the Florence Nightingale. Kung kukompletohin mo, Florence Nightingale theory. O yung number 4 niya, ang tanong niya is, what are the perception of the respondents regarding the current application of the theory? O pwede nyo din lagay, respondents varies in their perception regarding the application of theory. Tapos yung number 5 na output ninyo, kung halimbawa, is there an enhancement or what nursing activity can be proposed to enhance, blah, blah, blah. So, lalagay nyo lang na there is, okay, or there are, kung madami kang naiisip, okay, nursing activities that can be created, okay, to enhance, halimbawa, the application of Florence Nightingale theory among, okay, the nursing students. So, nagets po natin yung assumption. Ano po? Assumption kapag walang inferential question. Ma'am, halimbawa naman, yung tanong nyo may inferential question. So, ano ang gagawin natin? Okay, so halimbawa ang gagawin natin ay ito, balik tayo dito. So kung halimbawa, meron kayong is there a significant difference? So hindi assumption ang isusulat natin. Ang isusulat natin ay hypothesis. So hindi ito, kundi hypothesis. Okay, so lagay ng konting intro. Okay, the following or this is the hypothesis of the study o yung intro ninyong konti. Tapos kung isa lang yung inferential question nyo, halimbawa ang inferential question nyo ay lagay natin dito, is there a significant relationship on the, halimbawa, ano bang titingnan natin? On the application of Florence Nightingale theory to the barriers experienced by the respondents. Halimbawa yan ha. O yun, kunwari ang number 4 SOP nitong gumawang ito. So, hindi assumption ang ilalagay mo, kundi hypothesis. Okay? So, lagay ka ng intro, tapos lalagay mo na siya. May dalawa tayong hypothesis. Diyan sa Mabini, ang ginagamit natin ay null hypothesis. We have null and we have alternative. So, ang code ng alternative ay H1 to ay H0. So, lalagay ka dito, H0 dot dot. Ang hypothesis mo, dahil null siya, walang relationship, no connection. So, ilalagay mo siya, there is no significant relationship on the application. Kokopyahin mo lang to. Tapos babaguhin mo lang, papalitan mo lang ng word ng there is no significant relationship on the application of Florence Nightingale theory to the barriers experienced by respondents. Tapos na. Ganun lang siya kadali. Okay? So, after that one, punta na tayo sa scope and delimitation. May question po bago ako magpunta sa scope? Madali lang, no? Sagot daw po. Hello. Dali lang po. Dali lang. Parang wala akong narinig nagsagot.
Yes po.
Nagsagot si AJ. Okay. So, yun po. Okay, next. Tapos na.
Dali. Yan.
Saan yung scope nito? Yeah.
Yan. Stop.
So, after that one, we will now proceed to scope. So, ito yung scope. Okay. So, tapos na tayo sa assumption. Now, we will go to the scope and delimitation. So, obviously, pag sinabing scope, okay, as simple as ano ang sakop ng study ko. Sino ang mga nakapaloob dito? Ano ang matatouch niya? Pag sabing delimitation, from the word limitation, ano ang hindi niya isasama? Or hanggang saan lang ang study? Okay? Yan ang tinatawag. Yan ang power ng researcher, ang scope and delimitation. Kasi minsan, sasabihin ng panel sa inyo, bakit ganito? Ma'am, hindi ko po siya sinama. Ang respondents ko lang po ay ganito. Unless sinabi nila na, ay sige, dagdagan mo yung respondents mo. Pero yung scope and delimitation, as much as possible, you have to complete that one. Dahil ito yung usually ng yung power ng researcher kasi doon nyo napagtatanggol kung ano ang mismong gusto nyo mangyari at laman ng study niyo or ng research niyo. So, sa scope and delimitation, ang paggagawa po nito ay ganito po siya. Ano ba yung mga content ng scope natin? So the scope and delimitation should answer the following. Okay, so we have the what. Okay, what, where, when, why. Wala, ano pa ba nakuha ko? Namimiss ko. So let's start with the what. Okay, the first one na babanggitin nyo is, what is the title of the study? You have to be specific. What is the title of the study? What is the design that you are going to use for your study? Or what type of research na meron ang study mo? Kaya sasabihin mo, this study is blah, 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 sabihin mo yung title mo doon, wherein, o kaya naman unahin mo yung design na a qualitative study entitled blah, blah, blah. O, ganon. Ano pa yung what natin, ay meron pa pala who. So, who. Yung who natin, of course, you will write yung respondents mo. Sino ang respondents mo? So, sa respondents, ilalagay mo dito, halimbawa, the respondents of the study are, halimbawa, third year and fourth year nursing students of Mabini College. Doon na papasok. Kaya mapapansin nyo, yung mga title nyo, kalamihan doon, hindi ko pinapalagay yung anong tawag doon, yung location or kasi yung old practice pa yon na nilalagay nila yung halimbawa application of Florence Nightingale of students in the caring of patient in Barangay Mantagbak, halimbawa ganon. Yung mga nilalagay pa yung location. So ngayon hindi na generalized na, di ba? Kaya yung may mga title na inapprove ko na merong location, ang nung study, generalize siya. Halimbawa, in the province of Camarines Norte or in Camarines Norte, hindi siya identified kasi nga dun sa ating ethical discussion, di ba? So here, pwede nyo siyang ilagay. Pero kapag isasabit nyo, halimbawa, ang study nyo sa international research, hindi nyo pa rin yung babanggitin yung Mabini College. Pero, since yung sa atin, yung guidelines natin na pwedeng banggitin sa Mabini, then you can write here yung taga saan yung respondents ninyo or sino yung respondents nyo. Pero if application for international research, then you will just write nursing students in one of the province in Bicol region. O, di ba? Napaka-general, pero hindi mo ma-identify kung sino sila. Okay? Pag sa Mabini, ilalagay mo siya, respondents third year and fourth year level nursing students of Mabini College. Okay? So, where your study will be conducted. Okay? So, conducted. Saan mo ika-conduct? Ano ba ito nilagay kong content? So, ilalagay mo yung MC. Ano pa? O, CNPH. Or Leon. Etc. etc. Okay? Dito sa HUN ninyo, dito na papasok yung delimitation. Okay? Dito sa mga to. Delimitation. Okay? Paano papasok po yung delimitation? Halimbawa, sinabi nyo dito, ang respondents nyo lang ay fourth year nursing student. Kasi kung halimbawa, ang tinitingnan nyo ay yung pre-operative competency ng patient. Ay, ng nurse. Pre-operative competency ng nurse. Okay? So, usually, ang magaling na dapat siya ngayong fourth year. So, lahat ba ng fourth year ilalagay nyo? So, pwede nyo ilagay sa limitation nyo na yung mga irregular student ay hindi namin isasama. Kasi ang ginagawa ng panel, minsan tatanungin kayo, pag nauupo kami, ilan ang respondents, ilan ang fourth year nursing students? Ganun po yun ha. Kasi usually nagtatanong ang panel na ilan ang population or total population ninyo. Pag level ang tinanong, pwede nyo level 4, okay? Not necessary that you are going to place the number, pero mas maganda na alam nyo kung ilan ang nursing student. Kasi favorite ng mga panel ang tatanong, ilan ang number niyan? 140 po or 200 po ang level 4. O ano yun, kukunin mo lahat? Which is total enumeration? Ay hindi po ma'am. That's why ilalagay mo na yung delimitation mo na hindi mo sasama yung mga irregular. Okay? Ma'am, paano ko malalaman yung irregular? Isa sa mga responsibility ng researcher ay pupunta sa registrar para tanungin kung ilan ang number ng fourth year student at kung ilan ang regular at irregular. Okay? Yun ang sasagot mo pag tinanong ka, paano mo naman nakuha yung irregular? Based on, okay, the data coming from the registrar, there are only 140 fourth year regular students and 12 are irregulars. Halimbawa, gano'n. Okay? Yun yung mga lusot. Kasi minsan, ang nagiging problema ko, ang ganda-ganda ng papel. Pero dahil hindi mo pinaghandaan yung defense, minsan napapabago. Which is masakit ang ulo, minsan na depressing. Pero tandaan nyo, lahat ng nag-defend, okay, kahit masters and doctoral pa yan, laging may changes, laging may pinapabago. Pero wag naman sana yung lahat ipabago dahil hindi kayo nakasagot at hindi nyo na-i-defense yung study nyo kasi hindi nyo pinag-aralan. So, isa yun sa mga tinatanong, kung ilan ang population, total population ng respondents nyo. Isa yun sa mga nire-research. Kaya di ba may mga tinatanong ako sa inyo, meron bang sasagot dyan sa title mo, especially yung mga delikado na parang kukonte at mahirap makakuha ng respondents? Kasi baka inapprove yan ng panel, tapos nung magre-research na kayo at magkakandak na kayo or floating na ng questionnaire, wala kayong mahanap na respondents, patay tayo dun. It's either you will go to other place which is Kamsur, which is mahal naman, hindi kayo papayagan dyan. Magre-reklamo tayo na, ang mahal-mahal mag-research, pinapunta pa kami ng Kamsur. Kasi hindi mo na ngayon na-deliminate kung sino kung ano dapat talaga ang study nyo. Kung ang respondents nyo ba ay capable na masagot or enough or sufficient ba na masagot yung SOP ninyo or yung research study nyo itself. Ano po? So, yung may mga study naman sa CNPH, halimbawa sa CNPH, tatanong din nyo naman yung admin, yung may hawak ng data ng admission. So, kung halimbawa, PEDSA ward lang yan, titingnan nyo ang when ninyo dito. When. Anong admission date ang titingnan nyo? Halimbawa, for the whole year of 2025 or 2026 or yung current or yung month ng halimbawa from June to July o ilan ang patient doon. Tatanungin nyo yun. Susulat lang kayo doon na gusto nyo malaman, i-incorporate nyo yung letter sa, anong tawag dyan, sa admin ng hospital or sa chief nurse ng hospital na kayo ay inapprove, bibigay naman nyo yun sa inyo. Kung may kakilala kayo, then may estimate nyo doon. Ano po? So, doon po ang delimitations natin. So, halimbawa, kung sa hospital kayo, ang titingnan nyo ay ang pediatric patient nyo. So, ang respondents nyo ay pediatric patient. Pag sinabi kasing pedia from 1 to 16, from 1 to 16 years old pa rin yata yun or 1 to 12. Hindi ko na alam dyan sa Pinas, for 1 to 12 years old ang included sa pediatric. So, hindi mo sasabihin doon na pediatric patient kasi kasama pala yung 12 years old. So, i-specify mo kung anong taon sila. Yun ang tinatawag na delimitation. So, the respondents of this study are pediatric patient in CNPH. However, the age will be limited up to 1 to 3 or from birth up to toddler. Yun ang paglalagay po. Pag sinabi mo kasing pediatric, halimbawa, wala kang delimitation, lahat mo kukunin kung sino ang mga nakakonfine doon, then hindi mo ka maglalagay ng delimitation or hindi mo ililimit. Okay po? So, yung where, saan ikakandak yung studies, ano ang location ng respondents ninyo. So, it's either Babini College, okay, CNPH, Leon, etc., etc. Okay? So, kung halimbawa naman, madami kang hospital ang nakukunan, i-compare mo siya, comparative study, natitingnan mo yung mga private hospital, kung paano, ano ang definition ng quality care nila. Okay, pero ang gusto mong i-compare lang ay dalawa, may tatlong private hospital ang Camarines Norte. So, i-mention nyo din doon na, okay, na dalawa lang ang kukunin, i-compare mo na private ang hospital. Okay po, yun ang delimitation. So, when? Yun na po yung when din naman, of course, the date, we are referring to the date. So, it's either kung halimbawa, nursing student at nasa Mabini, academe ang title ng study mo. So, ilalagay mo lang school year of 2025 to 2026. Okay? just mentioned, like for example, school year, second semester, yun lang gusto mo. Or 2026 or 2025, but semester or first semester. So you have to be specific lagay sa scope and delimitation. Okay? So yung why of the study, pwede mo siyang i-incorporate anywhere in this place. Okay? Pwede mo siyang isunod sa what. Ang why of the study is, of course, kung ano yung aim at ano yung purpose ng study mo. So, short lang, ano po, wag masyadong madami. Medyo short lang. So, karamihan nilalagay nila yan dito sa what after the title of the study, the design, and meron pa dito na isa, ayun, naalala ko na, yung isa sa dito, how will so you determine the answer of the study. Ano bang ibig sabihin niyan? Halimbawa, you will use a questionnaire or adapted questionnaire, or you will make a tool, or you are going to make a researcher's made questionnaire. Okay. Yun yung isang what. Yun po yung laman ng scope and delimitation. So, pagbasa ko ng scope and delimitation nyo, nandun dapat itong mga to. Ano? So, ulitin natin, what is the title of your study? What is the design? Qualitative, quantitative, experimental, true experimental, non-experimental, correlational ba to, cross-sectional. So, nakalagay po yun doon. Ano? So, next, na what natin, how will you conduct this one? The researcher will use an adapted tool from, halimbawa, kung kanino nyo inadapt yun, okay? And be included, additional, blah, 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 kung may mag-a-add kayo. Kung adapted lang naman at minix nyo, so pwedeng mag-researcher made ang ilagay nyo po doon. Okay? Who will be the respondents of your study? Or pwedeng isunod nyo ang aim. The study aims to ganito, ganito. Okay, the target of the study is to determine blah, blah, blah. So that is the why of your study. And then next, you are going to put the respondents who will be your respondents. So you will determine the respondents, okay? So pag lahat mo yung kukunin, then definitely hindi ka maglalagay ng delimitation. So ilalagay mo siya as a general term. Yun ang sinabi ko sa inyong pediatric. Wherein kung ang pediatric na determinants din sa Pilipinas is 1 to 12, then you are ensuring that your pediatric patient will be from birth up to 12 years old. Okay? Pero kung lalagyan mo ang delimitation, so you are going to specify what is specific age you are going to include. Okay? So, yun po yung delimitation. So, next one will be where, saan mo ikakandak. So, you have to identify mga taga-saan itong mga respondents ito. Okay, mga student na to, mga taga-Mabini ba, mga taga-Lako ba, or mga taga-Ulpo ba, or lahat sila. Okay? As for the hospital, of course, you are going to determine the hospital. Itong dinidiscuss kong where na ito, medyo sensitive ito. Pero dahil sabi ko nga, unuulit ko, it's okay. Dahil yan yung format ng Mabini. Pero kapag kayo ay nag-masters, nag-doctorate, or halimbawa maganda yung paper ninyo at isasubmit natin sa ng international, so babaguhin natin yan. Hindi tayo magbe-mention ng specific. Okay, kasi baka malito kayo, pag nag-masters o nag-doctorate kayo, papasubmit kayo ng international publication. Tinuro naman sa amin ni Ma'am Joyce, ilagay daw yung ganon. Pero hindi po yun kasi may mga sensitive na papasahan nyo, pinapatanggal po yan. So, pinapa-generalize na lang nila yung discussion. So, as not to put